The village of Stonehaven nestled deep within the Whispering Woods, a place where time seemed to move slower, and the stones of the cottages held the chill of forgotten winter's. Life was practical, hard, and often silent. People spoke when necessary, their words clipped and efficient. Like the sharp blows of a blacksmith's hammer, kindness wasn't considered foolish, exactly, but it was viewed as an unnecessary luxury. Like painting flowers on a plow, children learned early that tears earned stern looks, not comfort, and compliments were as rare as summer snow. The heart of the village seemed as cold and unyielding as the ancient gray boulder that stood near the old, abandoned mill. Overshadowed by the brooding presence of Thornwood Manor on the hill, it was in this manor, villagers whispered, resided the most peculiar thing. A door that no key could open, no force could break. A door that only responded, the stories claimed, to a truly kind word spoken aloud. Elara, a girl of 10 with eyes, the color of storm clouds and a spirit quieter than the fall of dusk, lived in a small cottage at the village edge. Unlike the others, Elara felt the weight of the village's silence like a physical ache. She noticed the wilted wildflower ignored by the path, the old man struggling with his firewood unnoticed, the stray cat's plaintive mews in the alley while others hurried past. Elara would pause, her small hand gently patting the cat, or she'd offer a shy, silent smile to the old man. She felt invisible, her quiet nature mistaken for indifference. Yet her heart brimmed with unspoken words of care. It was this deep-seated empathy that drew her, day after day, to the overgrown path leading up to Thornwood Manor. She wasn't afraid of its crumbling grandeur. She was fascinated by the legend of the door. Could kindness, something the village seemed to have misplaced, truly hold such power? The door itself was unlike any other in Stonehaven. It stood at the end of a long, dusty corridor on the manor's ground floor, crafted from a wood so dark it seemed to drink the weak light filtering through grimy windows. Intricate carvings swirled across its surface, not of fierce beasts or heroic battles, but of intertwined vines, delicate birds in flight, and clusters of ripe fruit. At its center, where a lock should have been, was a smooth, polished circle of warm amber, like a petrified drop of sunlight. Elara had tried everything her small frame allowed. She pushed with all her might, the wood unyielding as granite. She ran her fingers over the carvings, searching for a hidden latch. She even brought a heavy stone once, dropping it near the base in frustration. But the door remained stubbornly, silently shut. The amber circle offered no reflection, no hint standing before it. She felt a profound sense of loneliness, not just her own, but emanating from the door itself, a silent plea. Lost in an uncaring world. One gray afternoon, heavy with the promise of rain, Elara's walk to the manor was interrupted by a pitiful sound near the mill pond. A young fox kit, its fur matted and one leg caught cruelly in a discarded, rusted snare, whimpered in terror. Villagers passing by barely glanced its way. Nature's way, muttered one. Too scrawny for the pelt anyway, said another. Elara's heart clenched, ignoring the drizzle beginning to fall. She knelt in the damp earth, her hands trembled as she carefully approached the frightened creature. "Shoo, little one," she murmured, her voice soft as thistledown, surprising even herself with its gentleness. "It's all right, you're so brave, I won't hurt you, let me help." She spoke soothing nonsense, her words a warm balm against the cold indifference of the world. Slowly, miraculously, the kit stopped thrashing, its panicked eyes fixed on hers with infinite care. She worked the rusted metal, whispering encouragement until the leg was free. The kit limped away into the undergrowth, pausing once to look back at her before disappearing. The encounter left Elara with a strange warmth in her chest, a feeling both fragile and strong. Almost without thinking, she walked straight to Thornwood Manor, her damp clothes clinging to her, her mind still filled with the fox kit's trusting gaze. She stood once more before the dark, silent door. The frustration of her past attempts was gone, replaced by a quiet certainty. She wasn't here to force anything open. She looked at the amber circle, no longer seeing just a strange ornament, but perhaps an eye, a heart. She thought of the fox's fear, her own desire to ease it, the simple, profound power of a gentle word offered freely. Taking a deep breath, She didn't command. She didn't plead, she simply spoke the truth that filled her. "You are beautiful," she said softly, her voice clear and pure in the dusty stillness, "and you deserve to be seen." A soft, golden light pulsed from the amber circle, spreading like liquid sunshine through the intricate carvings of vines and birds. It wasn't a blinding flash, but a warm, gentle radiance that filled the corridor with a sense of profound peace. Elara gasped as a deep, resonant click echoed through the ancient wood, a sound like a long-held sigh of relief. Slowly, silently, smoothly, the massive door swung inwards, revealing not darkness, but a space bathed in the same warm, golden light emanating from the door itself. The air that flowed out was sweet, like honey and wildflowers, washing over Elara, carrying away the lingering chill of Stonehaven's indifference. It was the most welcoming sensation she had ever known. The room beyond wasn't filled with glittering treasure or magical artifacts. It was a simple, sunlit conservatory, long neglected but still beautiful. Lush, healthy plants spilled from cracked pots. Climbing walls draped in ivy. Sunlight streamed through dirty but intact glass panels, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. In the center stood a stone basin filled with crystal-clear water, but the true treasure lay on a simple wooden pedestal. An open book, its pages covered not in text, but in shimmering, shifting symbols that seemed to dance. Symbols of open hands, intertwined hearts, blooming flowers, and smiling faces. Elara understood instinctively this was the heart of kindness, a repository of its pure, simple power, waiting patiently behind a door only it could unlock. The warmth wasn't just light. It was the feeling itself, tangible and real. Word of the open door spread through Stonehaven like wildfire, carried first by Elara's quiet wonder, then by the villagers drawn to the manor's sudden, inexplicable warmth. They stood in the corridor, bathed in the door's gentle glow, feeling the sweet air, witnessing the impossible. Elara showed them the room, the book of shimmering symbols. She didn't preach. She simply shared the warmth she'd found. A remarkable change, slow but undeniable, began to sweep through the village. The blacksmith, moved by the sight of the glowing door, offered to fix Widow Marlowe's fence without charge. Children started helping old Master Finley carry his shopping, their laughter a new sound in the streets. Apologies were spoken after harsh words, compliments offered on a new shawl or a well-tended garden. The cold stone of the village didn't vanish, but it was warmed by a new current of connection. The door at Thornwood Manor remained open, a silent testament, its amber circle glowing softly. Elara visited often, not to seek more, but simply to sit in the conservatory's peace. She knew the door wasn't just about grand gestures. It was about the small, everyday kindnesses that could unlock the hardest hearts and warm the coldest places, proving that sometimes the most powerful magic in the world is simply a kind word, sincerely spoken. And Stonehaven, once silent, began to hum with its gentle, healing song.